Namaste Jijñāsu. In today's lecture, we will be discussing about the Vedāṅgas. As we all know, Vedāṅga, here the Veda plus Anga means Vedāṅga. So what do we mean by it? Is it a part of Ved? More correctly will be to say that it is a auxiliary to Vedas. It means knowing these Vedāṅgas will help us in understanding the Vedas completely. In the previous lectures, we have discussed that the Vedāṅgas are of 6 in numbers, so they are called Sad Vedāṅga. They are Chanda, Kalpa, Jyotiṣa, Śikṣā, Śrotra, Śikṣā, Vyākaraṇa. If I say in a correct order, it will be Śikṣā, Vyākaraṇa, then Nirukta, then Chanda, Śikṣā, Kalpa, Vyākaraṇa, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotiṣa. Okay, whatever the order may be, what is important to know that there are 6 Vedāṅgas and a text which is called Pani Śikṣā, which is also a Śikṣā text, imagines Veda as a Purusha, as a person, and their body parts as a different Vedāṅgas. So which of the body part which is likely to be related to the which Vedāṅga is mentioned here beautifully, and many times in the question papers also the setters do ask about the match the followings, etc. Okay, so they will ask that which of the body part of the Veda Purusha relates with the which of the Vedāṅga. So look at this shloka. The shloka says Chandah padau tu Vedasya. It means the Vedasya legs are corresponding to the Chanda Shastra. Okay. Now hastau kalpo atha pathyate. It means the hands corresponds to the kalpa. There are metaphorical meaning of it. I will talk to you about this in later on. Okay. Now Jyotiṣam ainam chakshu. It means the eyes of the Veda Purusha relates to the Jyotiṣa. Then Niruktam Srotram Uchyate. It means the Srotra, ears of the Veda Purusha corresponds to the Nirukta. Okay. And the 2 others are the Śikṣā Granam to Vedasya. It means the nose relates to the Śikṣā, and the Vyākaraṇam is similar to the Mukham, Vedasya Mukham. Okay, so these are the 6 Vedāṅgas and their relation with the Ved Purusha. Now, moving to each of the Vedāṅgas, we will here discuss a slight introductory knowledge of each Vedāṅga. Śikṣā in modern connotations, we use it as a term for education, but I don't think it is a right term. Śikṣā technically in Sanskrit is different. Here the Śikṣā means Śikṣā means pronunciation. It is a discipline that relates to the phonetics, phonology, and pronunciation systems. So here we will discuss what is here. Look at the definition. What they are saying. They are saying that varna swaradi uchcharan prakaro yatra upadishyati sa Śikṣā. So you could see that Śikṣā is defined as the discipline which gives the upadesha on varna, that is alphabets or letters. Then it discusses the accents, that is swaras, and then then Uchcharan, pronunciation system, etc. Similarly, in the Śikṣā value of the three Upanishad, there is a one Śikṣādhyaya, which says that what are the components of Śikṣā. So it says Varna, Swaraha, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santana. These are the Śikṣā. So what is Varna? Varna is just like a letters. It consists of vowels and consonants. Swara is the accent. There are three swaras, Uddat, Anudvat and Sarita. There is Matra, Hrashva, Dirgha and Pluta. There is Bala. Bala here means the place of pronunciation, Ucharana Sthan, and the Prayatna. As you all know, the Prayatna is also of two types, Baya Prayatna and Abhyanta Prayatna. These are topics in detail we will discuss later on when we'll move to the topic in detail lecture. Okay. Now the fifth one is the Psalm. Psalm is what? Psalm is pronunciation of them. How to pronounce. Now the last one is the Santana. Santana means how the scholars should know how pronunciation differs in context of the Sandhi, particularly but especially in context of Purvarup Sandhi. Okay, so these are the concepts, these are the Ucharan systems, these are the text of Ucharan phonology and phonetics. Okay, so there are a lot of text. As I said, each Veda has their own Śikṣā Grantha. For example, Panini Śikṣā, there is Panini Śikṣā, there is Yajval Śikṣā. These two are the prominent one. Panini Śikṣā name says written by the Panini, and the Yajval Śikṣā is supposed to be written by the Yajvalk. Okay, so so now let's move to the next topic. Next is the Kalpa. Kalp is also a Vedāṅga, which describes the prescribed karma in the Brahman text of various Vedic branches. I have said that there are lots of karmas written in the Brahman text, and the Kalpa is basically describes them, what the karma are, what are the components of it. These all things are mentioned there. Okay, look, you say Kalpo kimasti Veda vihitanam karmanam anupurvena kalpan sastram evam asti. Astu. So these are these texts which basically describe the prescribed karma in the Brahman are called Kalp. But Kalp is also divided into the 4 divisions. There are 4 divisions of the Kalpa. One is Srot Sutra, second is Griha Sutra, and the Dharma Sutra and the Sulp Sutra. You have to remember this, that the Kalp is divided into 4. It is Srot, Grihi, Dharma and Sulp. Let's look at the meaning of each. Srot Sutra, it simply says, Sruti, and then which is related to Sruti. So it basically tells about different karmas and yajnas performed in the Vedic rituals, and so there is a description of all those things. Now the Griha Sutra, it's related to the Grihasthashram. So there are all those rituals, samskaras which are prevalent in the Grihasthashram are mentioned in the Griha Sutra. Now the Dharma Sutra. Dharma Sutra are basically the earliest version of Dharma Shastras. There mentions, then we contains the mentions of social customs, laws. All those things are mentioned in the Dharma Sutra. The 4th one is quite interesting, is the Shulba Sutra. Shulba here means thread. So it is a text which tells about how to make the altars, how to make the Yajvedis. And since the Yajvedi is a art of geometry and mathematics, so there are the lots of concepts of geometry and mathematics are mentioned there, particularly the applied geometry, practical geometry are mentioned there. Okay, so these are the division of Kalpa. So we got the Śikṣā, we got the Kalpa. Now what we are going to learn is the 3rd one is the Vyākaraṇa. What is Vyākaraṇa? Vyākaraṇa is the text of grammar. Simply the text of grammar. What, and also, as you all know that how much grammar is important in context of literature, and because without grammar you can't even know the meaning of the sentences, and not even you can do vinyoga. So these are the important things that so the Vyākaraṇa becomes equally important in context of the Vedāṅgas. Okay, now let's move to the now one thing that you have to remember is that 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 although the Vyākaraṇa is a Vedāṅga, but that is, it helps in understanding the Vedas, but this doesn't mean that its only purpose is to understanding the Vedas. Since Vyākaraṇa is simply responsible for giving the enlightening the meaning of the words and sentences. Similarly, if there is a Laukic Sanskrit or the simple Sanskrit literature, there also grammar will work. So when we see grammar, we can't find a particular specific grammatical text on the Vedic grammar and something on different. No, there is no such as text, primary text as such. There are lots of grammarians and different grammarians in Sanskrit and IKS, and one of them, the prominent one, is Paninian school, which is founded by the Panini, who wrote the text Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is the very monumental text in terms of Vyākaraṇa, and here he mentions both the Laukiki and Vedic. He gave the rules of all those Laukiki and Vedic. Okay, now moving to the next Vedāṅga is the Nirukta. Nirukta means text of etymology. So it is a text of etymology. And what we do in etymology, we try to get to the meanings of the words. There also contains the synonyms of the words. They also contain the meanings of the words. They also contain the how the different meanings of the words conveyed and how to get that. So there are lots of rules of the Nirukta is also given. The prominent text which is now available is, an earliest one is the Vyāsa, which is one of the greatest scholar. His text is Nirukta. The text itself name is Nirukta. And somebody says that there is a Nigantu which is the primary text on which the comment in which the Nirukta was written. But whatever it is, the Yask, we will not get into those discussions. Yask has written the Nirukta and Nigantu as well. So they both are, Nigantu is a part of Nirukta. What for now you could understand, you should understand this. Okay, so Yask is the Nirukta, whose text is currently available. Before there are mention of lots of Nirukta, lots of Nirukta, but we can't find their text. Just like Sakatan, etc. There are lots. Okay, so this is the Nirukta. Nirukta gives the etymology. Now there is a very famous slok which tells about the 5 working area of Nirukta, how the Nirukta works and in which areas the Nirukta works. There are 5 limbs of it. So which are they? So this is the Varna Agam, Varna Viparyay. So first is the Varna Agam. It means there must be some addition of some letters. Okay. Then maybe Varna Viparya. Here Viparya means interchangeability. There maybe that few letters get interchanged. There also be Varna Vikar. Vikar means the change in a particular letter. So there may be Varna Vikar. There might be Varna Nas also. So there may be the this removal of a particular letter. So there may be addition of particular letter, there may be interchange of letters, there may be change in a particular letter, or there may be the deletion of a letter. These 4 are, I think, clear. There is no doubt about it. The fifth one is very important, is that different dhatus do convey different meaning than what the literal meaning is supposed to have. So there are literal meaning of particular dhatus, but few meanings are not similar to the literal one. So the Nirukta also explain how these meanings are conveyed. So this is also work of Niruktam. Okay. So tad arthat tishayena yogas taduchyate panchavidam Niruktam. Okay. So this is the dhatos tad artha atishayena yoga tad uchyate panchavidham Niruktam. So there are 5 limbs of Nirukta. One is Varnagam, Varn Viparyaya, then Varn Vikar, then Varnas, then the atishayena artha. Okay. Astu. Now moving to the next Vedāṅga. We have discussed Śikṣā, we have discussed already the Kalpa, we have already discussed the Vyākaraṇa, we have already discussed the Nirukta. Now becomes the Chanda. Chanda is the 5th Vedāṅga, which is also quite important for the Veda point of view, because Veda, most of the part particularly the Rig Veda and Sam Veda are gay. So they are meterized. So one, you have to know the meters and how it should be how to sing those mantras. So it is very important. The most prominent text of earliest text is the Pingal's Chanda Sutra. So this is the Pingal's Chanda Sutra. Okay. So there are few chandas which are quite prominent in the Vedic text, which is Gayatri, Anushtup, Pankti, Trishtup and Jagati. It has 24 letters and it has 32. So there are, this is, you will learn later on. Okay. So this is the Chandas. Now the last one is the Jyotish. Most of we in the media know that Jyotish related to astrology, but here you have to maintain the difference that in Vedāṅga, the Jyotish corresponds to the astronomy. Astronomy means knowing the planetary states, their motions, where they are the nakshatras, where the different planets are there, and since the rituals are subject to those time and particular positions, the scholar should know the Jyotish to understand the Vedas very carefully. There is a very beautiful and earliest text which are available is the Lagadha's Vedāṅga Jyotish. So Vedāṅga Jyotish written by Lagadha is one of the prominent text in an earliest text in context of Vedic Vedāṅgas. So this was the discussion on the Vedāṅga. As said, Vedāṅga is a auxiliary to Vedas. It helps in understanding the meaning of it. And if you want to explore a more depth on the Vedāṅga, I will recommend a very beautiful book which is Sanskrit Vangmay Ka Brihad Itihas, written by the Baldev Upadhyay. So in the Dvitiya Khanda, the second part is fully devoted to the Vedāṅga. So there is a big thick book on the Vedāṅga itself. So I think you will get benefited of it. If I am committing any mistake, do tell me. Your comments are the only source of knowing what mistakes I am doing and what improvements I could expect I should do. So that's for the today. Namaskaram, Dhanyavadaha. If you wanna promote, if you are liking my content, do share and like. Namaste. Thank you.